like, why are you even like pursuing this profession? And I'm like, it's fun. It builds character. Dude, they're so colorful. Oh my god. Girl hands. Girl hands right here.
Yo, we're back with another Walkie Talkie. Here with Sonia today. Sonia, introduce yourself, let people know who you are and what you shoot.
Hi Paulie. Hi channel. I'm Sonia. I'm a photographer based in Brooklyn, New York. I mainly do a lot of documentary stuff. I'm a college student. I go for commercial photography. This is Mid-Autumn Festival, guys. We're in Chinatown. Yeah, it should be starting anytime soon. I don't know when, but there's gonna be lion dances, and that's what I'm excited for.
What camera do you usually shoot? Like, what's your weapon of choice?
Well, I have a couple cameras in my bag as well, but I mainly shoot with the Nikon F3. I know Nikon cameras get a lot of shit in the community. I think it's fine. I think it's always about the photographer, not the camera. But yeah, no, the F3, I've had a love-hate relationship with it.
How long have you kind of been into the style of photography, like documentary work?
I started calling myself a documentary photographer just to hold myself accountable for doing more documentary work, because that's what I want to lean more into. But, I do shoot a lot of street just to practice my eye, use it as soccer practice, little drills here and there, just to, keep my eyes sharp.
Are you going to school for photography?
Yeah, I'm going for commercial photography.
So what made you decide to go that route versus like some other college route? And
yeah. Well, long story short, I just didn't have shit to do. I didn't know what to major in. I decided to figure out what do I know best? What do I do best? What keeps going back to me every single time I'm thinking about a career. And it's always been photography. I've been, taking photos as a kid, since I was 5 on my mom or dad's Polaroid. So it's just photography is always coming back, back into my life somehow. So yeah, I've decided to pursue photography.
So are you first gen?
I'm first gen, yeah.
First gen Asian American. How did your elders, your parents, your grandparents react to you pursuing photography or arts?
You see, my mom wanted me to be a veterinarian because we have 3 dogs in the house. But I was just there's no way I'm handling bloody animals. My grandma was more supportive than my mom was, and shout out to elders, shout out to grandparents. I really appreciate my grandma for being, so supportive of my career. I think my mom's starting to be more open to the idea that, I'm freelancing and making more money from photography. I think, the whole goal is just to be able to, financially sustain yourself in terms of your work. So I think she was a little bit nervous about me going into photography.
Where are you from, Sonia?
I'm from Brooklyn, New York, born and raised here.
Born and raised Brooklyn.
Coney Islands.
Born and raised Coney Island.
Yeah.
Dang.
Shout out to Harold Feinstein. It's my dad. I'm kidding. He's just a Coney Island photographer. I only found out about him this year and taken so much inspiration from his work. And it's crazy to find a photographer that's in your area. So it's really nice to find his work and take inspiration. He's also a professor.
You want to quickly explain what's going on here?
Mid-Autumn Festival happens once a year. Can't get into much detail because I personally have a hard time remembering how the story goes. But there's definitely a goddess behind the story, and she takes this random little pill and flies to the moon, becomes immortal, and it's a story. It's a story. You spend time with your family, eat mooncakes, eat some pomelo, have a good time.
So you mentioned you're from the Coney Island area.
Yeah.
What's your connection to Chinatown? I was assuming you grew up coming here, or
Oh shit, we're at the end of the roll. Yeah, my grandma would take me to the Buddhist temple a lot in Chinatown, every Saturday, every Sunday, and it's an hour ride from Coney Island to Chinatown. After growing up and not having been to Chinatown for such a long time, I think I started feeling a little bit more distant from my culture, and not being able to like be more involved in the community. Lately, I've just been, partaking in the community, getting more involved. I do a lot of activist work, so, photography and activism, go hand in hand, which is really awesome. Almost like a year ago or two, took this photo of this bakery. They're like one of the oldest bakeries in Chinatown. I don't know the boss's name, but I do know Kelly. Kelly's really cool. We're here. Feng Wong Bakery, we're here. Let's see if she's here. I hope she's here. Hello. 你知唔知啊 Kelly 喺邊度？我有幅相。可以一個 lemon green tea。Hello， 見唔見到啊？但係如果你影 digital，都好好啊。She's so sweet. She was like, dude, it's on the house. I'm so happy. She like spoils me every single time. Best place to be for a broke college student is Feng Wong Bakery.
I feel like it's such a photography, especially street photography trope or cliche to come to Chinatown to shoot.
Yeah, so I mean, I think with Chinatown, there's just so much to photograph there. You shouldn't limit yourself to like this community. You can only, photograph elders and the kids, Lunar New Year. Like there's so much to Chinatown that like, you might not see every day. Like there's so many organizations that host so many fun events. I think Chinatown and Box Set, they host the block party. It's really awesome. I think it's a great opportunity for people to also like photograph, the atmosphere here rather than just focusing directly on like, photographing the Asian elders. I think there's so much to, Chinatown than most people would think. And yeah, I think just interacting with the locals is like, so important. It's so productive. And I think that also makes your photography work a lot better. Because even with a lot of people who shoot around Chinatown, it's like it's not voyeuristic, but it's like so distant. You feel so distant from your subject. I did a project on Columbus Park. It's called Maybe Mass Columbus Park. It was supposed to be a little zine. It's unreleased. For the whole critique that I got was that, you need to go closer. You need to go closer for your photos, and you need to, interact with your subjects because, that distance between your subject and you is very obvious in a photograph. Sometimes I'm like, I photograph too many kids in Chinatown. Too many kids.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I feel like I'm trying to like heal my internal childhood in a way. I also really like the way they dress because I honestly dress very similar to a child, I'm not gonna lie. A lot of places have to like ID me because I'm like, I look 12. But I also really like, how much curiosity there is when it comes to a kid. Like they're just so curious of like, moving around, going whereabouts. More photographers need to be more curious in terms of their work. I'm trying to remember, who's that photographer? I don't know if it's Elliot Erwitt, but he was saying like how, for most of his work, like he was photographing like really low, like really weird angles. I don't know if you know. I don't know if it's Elliot Erwitt. I might be wrong. I don't know. I feel like when it comes to like photography work, I try to be more like youthful in a way, and some of my work be a little bit more curious. Try not to like box myself in like a specific, category of like what I want to shoot, even though I identify as like, a documentary photographer. Like I'm not always going to be shooting documentary.
So on Instagram, you don't have a lot of photos.
I don't. I like went on a little hiatus because like I just didn't want to post anything. I don't know why. Like there's something in me that like I was like I don't want to post, but I'm also making work at the same time. I also think that like with photography work, you don't always have to post on Instagram. There are other platforms. There are other ways of promoting your work and getting feedback from for your work. Who the fuck is calling me? Oh, you get that? My mom's calling me. Hello? Yo. Oh God, did you get that?
Yeah.
Holy fuck. Let's do a little test frame real quick. Oh. Okay. Well. Oh, can I? Oh, thank you. Oh, Thank you. All right. Let's see. I also have another camera.
What's your thought process in switching between those two cameras you have?
When I get bored.
Or I guess 3.
Oh, yeah. So we got the F3, we got a little Pentax point and shoot, and then we got a Lomography fisheye. Sometimes I feel like just shooting with like one certain, film stock, it gets a little boring. So, during like these festive times, it's nice to have one that shoots color, and black and white. Since, it's my main guy right here, it's gonna be black and white. But with these two, I'm not too crazy about. I'm getting a little bored right now, so I'm just gonna shoot with a little fun little camera, just switch it up.
What's the difference between focal lengths between those 3?
Good question. This is a 28, 38 to 70. This is a zoom. God knows what this is. We'll find out. Oh my God.
So like we talked about you not sharing on Instagram or holding back work. But you said you have other avenues that you share your work?
Yeah. I mean, like going to school for once. Like getting critique back from professors and like other individuals who also, do photography is pretty nice to like, be able to get like 2 different type of feedback, 2 different type of critiques. Since, for a professor, they're gonna obviously be a little bit more, critical on you, be a lot more detailed. And I feel like, when it comes to like getting critique from friends, it's also really helpful. It's free, of course, compared to, asking a professor for help. I also think, if you're able to like find a mentor, I think that is also really great.
Do you have any plans for all the work that you're making? Because you said you shoot a lot.
Oh yeah, I shoot a lot of. I do shoot a lot of. I guess I want to make a couple books. I want to make a couple zines. I think publishing some work is probably the goal. For the moment, that's in like it's a 5-year goal. But I think right now like I'm more focusing on like improving on teaching people. Like I really want to teach. I really want to host workshops. I also want to teach a lot of like, beginning photographers. I think teaching is it's such an awesome thing. Knowledge is power. We're the lions.
Don't die.
On the way here, I like almost got hit by a car. I'm not gonna lie. I sometimes get too oblivious when I'm like photographing, which is really bad. I like told my mom about like all these situations that happened to me when I'm shooting street, and she was like, "Why are you even like pursuing this profession?" And I'm like, "It's fun. It builds character."
So when was the first time you kind of felt or tasted success in your photography life?
I don't know. I think the last time that like I felt pretty cool to like be doing photography would probably be, having my first like little group exhibition when I was starting out. I think that was pretty cool. What else? I think the most recent one was I got into a fellowship in Chinatown. It's the WOW project, Wing on Woe. They're doing this little program, mentorship. It's basically called Resist, Recycle, Regenerate. There's so many cool opportunities that this program, gives to queer youth to like get them into like learning how to be a mentor, hosting workshops, teaching them how to combine art and activism together. I think that is pretty cool to do. I think a lot of photography work is also very political.
How did that group exhibition kind of come about?
It was part of I think Chinatown. They're like trying to host a little teaching, a little workshop for a bunch of like 12 individual photographers. But yeah, the whole workshop came about, Corky Lee, Chinatown photographer who passed away in like 2021. I think he was from Flushing, Queens. He wasn't from Chinatown, but he came to Chinatown a lot. He's a photojournalist. He's really great. I think a lot of like the younger generation of photographers in Chinatown really, take inspiration or like got really motivated through Corky Lee and, the work that he has left behind for us. Like even like if you go to like Dwyer Street, there's like a mural for him, and I think that's so sweet. I think it's a great way of honoring him.
Favorite photograph that you've taken all time?
My favorite photograph of this year, it was during the Mermaid Parade, and it just like poured so much. I don't know, I was shooting with my flash that day. There was this like little boy, a little Asian boy, he was like walking towards the frame when I was like, you know, heading back into the boardwalk. Snapped a photo, came out really cool. I really liked, you know, how, you know, the ground was very reflective.
Can you talk about some of your favorite photo books and why?
Oh yeah, oh my god, I love this topic because I love photo books and I am broke because I collect photo books. But there's this one photo book that I really go back to every single time. It's Justine Kurland's Girl Pictures. It was one of my first photo books that I got from Dashwood Books. And oh my god, I keep going back to that book. I love the colors in it. I love the theme of that book. Just everything about that, you know, collection and body of work is just so fucking nice. I also really want to get this book by Josef Kodelka, Iconer, but it's like a book. It's totally different from Exiles. I really want to get Iconer just because, you know, it's more personal. I always find it very interesting to like, you know, dig a little deeper into how a photographer like introduces himself into the photo rather than just making the photo about the subject. I think that's very interesting to like be able to see how, you know, you can make a photo like also very intimate by including yourself in the frame in some way. I've been doing that a lot. I think I've been really inspired by, you know, the photos he's made. Yeah, he's just a really cool guy.
So if somebody's just getting into photography, is there one photo book that you would recommend them picking up just to study and kind of like quickly grow? I got you, because I actually recently bought it. It's this like Marielle and Mark aperture book. Talks about her process, and I think it's really, I think the whole aperture collection of like, you know, process of photographers, it's more about the process and how to like get yourself to like go into certain groups and be able to like, it's about approach. It's about how you approach your subjects. I think that book is just great when it comes to like photographing anywhere. Also, Marielle and Mark produces like great fucking work. And yeah, I've just been studying more of her work recently. Oh! Sorry. Oh, where are you guys going? So did we just miss it? That's fucked up. Oh, okay. Let's follow them. So right now, what's your order of operations in terms of what the cameras you're shooting?
I'm currently gonna be almost done with this black and white roll. When that happens, I'm just gonna switch to this. I'm just gonna shoot all color, because I think if I just like reload, you know, it's gonna take too long. About time they cross a bridge. Let's go. Dude, there's so many of them.
There's a lot of them.
Dude, that's a whole family. Dude, they're so fucking colorful. Oh my god. Yeah.
Man, you use your head, you're good. I'm such a troll, man.
You are.
I'm such a troll.
All my senses are gone.
We just went through that entire like lion dance parade through Chinatown. Obviously, there's a bunch of photographers. How important is it for you to be unique in the things that you capture, especially at like these kind of events where there's dozens of photographers around?
Yeah, I think, it's very important to, have at least some representation in the community, especially in Chinatown, since, you're getting all different perspectives, but I think, from someone who is born and raised here, who like knows a bit about line dancing and like the like techniques of like working your way around like the crowd. Girl hands right here. I think like this is multi-talented right here. Girl hands. Sorry, we're just gonna like unpack. We're just gonna do a bag tour real quick.
Finish your sentence. I take photos because.
I take photos because I can't remember shit. I'm not gonna lie. Like I have a pretty terrible memory. But I also like to really want to preserve history in terms of like in my communities, which is like Chinatown, Coney Island, wherever I reside in the future. So yeah, that's why I take photos.
All right, that's gonna do it for today's Walkie Talkie. Sonia, thanks for hanging out with me.
Thank you so much, Paul, for coming along for Mid-Autumn Festival.
Yeah, let the people know where they can show you some love.
Instagram, actually Sonia with an I, not a J, not a Y. Yeah, and then I do have a website. It's also on Instagram. But yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, go visit the website, go hit her up,
Cool.
say what's up on Instagram. Bye, Sonia.
Peace out.
Peace.
Now when they see us in the streets, all they wanna do is take pics, and I'm like, oh.